Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Fluent English Podcast. I hope you're doing well today, wherever you are listening from. Maybe you're walking, driving, cooking, or just relaxing. We're really glad you chose to spend some time with us.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us. Every time we sit down to record, we imagine people all around the world practicing their English with us. It feels like a global classroom, but much more relaxed and personal.
That's so true. And the best part is, you can learn English without even realizing you're studying. Just by listening, repeating, and thinking in English, your fluency starts to improve naturally.
Exactly. Today, let's make this conversation both fun and useful. We'll talk about daily life, expressions you can use, and some tips for sounding more confident in English.
Great idea. So let me ask you first, how was your morning today?
My morning was actually very calm. I woke up early, had a cup of coffee, and read for about 20 minutes. I try to read something in English every morning because it helps me think in the language. How about you?
That's a good habit. My morning was a little busy. I had some work emails waiting, so I handled those first. But I also listened to some English podcasts while preparing breakfast. Listening to natural conversations like these really helps me stay in practice.
Yes, that's something we always recommend to learners. Make English a part of your daily routine. Don't treat it like a school subject that you only study for 1 hour. Instead, try to surround yourself with it.
Right, and even small actions count. For example, if you are cooking, try to name the ingredients in English. If you are walking, describe the things you see in English, even if only in your mind.
That's a powerful exercise. You don't always need a teacher or a classroom. Your environment can become your teacher if you practice that way.
Speaking of practice, a lot of people ask us how to improve fluency. They say, I know many words, but when I try to speak, I hesitate. What's your advice for that?
That's a very common problem. My advice is simple. Practice speaking without worrying too much about mistakes. Many learners stay silent because they are afraid of being wrong, but mistakes are actually your best teachers.
Exactly. And another tip is shadowing. For those listening, shadowing means you listen to a native speaker and try to repeat immediately after them, almost like an echo. It trains your mouth and brain to move faster in English.
Yes, and it also improves pronunciation. Imagine you're listening to a short podcast or even a movie scene. Play a sentence, pause, and repeat it with the same rhythm and tone. Over time, you'll sound more natural.
That's so effective. I used to do shadowing when I was learning another language, and I noticed big improvements. It feels strange at first, but it really works.
Let's also talk about vocabulary. Many learners think they need thousands of words before they can speak fluently. But the truth is, you only need a few hundred common words to communicate effectively.
Yes, exactly. Fluency doesn't mean knowing every word. It means being able to express your ideas smoothly. Even if you don't know an advanced word, you can explain it in a simple way. For example, if you don't know the word ceiling, you can say the wall above my head.
That's a great example. This skill is called paraphrasing, and it's extremely useful. Instead of stopping because you don't know one word, you explain it differently. That way, the conversation keeps going.
And that's what fluent speakers do all the time. Even native speakers forget words sometimes, but they find another way to say the same thing.
Absolutely. Another important part of fluency is listening. If you can't understand what others are saying, it's hard to reply quickly. So listening practice is just as important as speaking practice.
Yes. In fact, I always tell learners, listen twice as much as you speak. The more input you get, the more natural your output will become. Think of children. They listen for years before they start speaking fluently.
That's a really good point. And for our listeners, this podcast is one way you're already practicing listening. You're training your brain to understand English in real time.
Exactly. And if you want to take it further, try repeating parts of this podcast out loud. Don't just be a passive listener, be an active participant.
Another thing that helps is keeping an English journal. Every night, write a few sentences about your day in English. It doesn't need to be perfect. The goal is to think in English without translating from your native language.
That's a great exercise. I also recommend speaking to yourself in English. Some people feel shy doing this, but it's very effective. For example, when you're alone, describe what you're doing. I'm opening the window. I'm making tea. I'm sitting down. It makes English a habit.
Yes, and when you build these small habits, they become natural. Soon, you won't even realize you're speaking in English. It just flows.
And that's the true meaning of fluency, when you stop translating and start thinking directly in English.
Exactly. So, to everyone listening, keep practicing daily, even if it's just 10 or 15 minutes. Consistency is the real secret.
Well said. And remember, we're here every week to give you new ideas, conversations, and motivation to keep learning.
Yes, we love being part of your English journey. Thank you for joining us today.
And we'll see you in the next episode. Until then, keep practicing, keep listening, and keep speaking.
Take care, everyone, and happy learning.